What if we learned how to communicate to those closest to us, to our families, instead of arguing or trying to fix things or fight for some kind of uh, climate change or whatever the next thing is, because there seems to be a lot of popular movements and they just seem to change and shift quite often. What if the movement was just connection with my loved ones, true connection, the
Mm.
spiritual practice of presence to truly be with someone else, to empathically connect? We would all be tuned into ourselves and our own batteries. You know how much energy we'd all have? We'd have so
Mm.
much capacity to share, to communicate, to be creative, to solve it, problem solve. We wouldn't need to be connected to a lot of large companies and different things like that. But the challenge is, it's not easy, right? Sometimes we're
Mm.
very prone to comfort and the easy route.
Mm.
And oh, I love Jarrett. I hope we get him on here. We had a friend, Jarrett, who helped us move. Actually, he didn't help us move. He just came and enjoyed pizza afterwards, which was great.
Yeah.
Because,
Enjoy his
yeah, we
presence.
enjoyed his presence. What was so great about what he shared was he said that instant gratification is an addiction. And I've never considered that before. And he noticed it driving over that he had this urge for fast food. And as he noticed this urge for fast food because he was hungry, he was like, wait a sec, that's an instant gratification thing. Maybe I don't necessarily need that. So he thought it for a bit, and then he decided, no, I'm not going to go get that. And then the remarkable thing happened, and he wasn't hungry. So then he had the capacity to go make his own food. So interesting. Instant gratification. How many ways do we need instant gratification? Shopping. They make those aisles so that you can buy stuff quickly. This is going to be my
Mm.
biggest practice in the next little while, to see what that does to my capacity is to wait, because I actually never considered instant gratification to be an addiction. Like, it's never crossed my mind. And I think that's maybe what all addictions are, is based in that. What do you think, based on what Jared said?
Well, I think addiction is disconnected from myself.
Mhm.
Addiction is anything in balance, right? If I do anything in an extreme and repetitively over time, um, there's something to gain from that, right? There's some need of mine that's being met by that, and so it's going deeper. Like, okay, is this healthy or unhealthy for me? Even the root word of addiction is, addiction, disconnection, right? Dictatorship.
Dictatorship, yeah.
Giving, giving my power away, right? So if I'm giving my power away to McDonald's because every time I see it, I crave it, and there's really it's unconscious, right? Do I have a conscious choice of making that decision? And when I think about instant gratification, I think about, for me, an addiction to urgency, that everything needs to get done now. Like, it goes back to my restlessness, that everything needs to done now, be done fast. So I feel good about myself. I have a lot of things checked off already. I answered, 10 emails, 20 texts, got a few checklists done, and I feel proud of myself. And it starts all over again.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been taught that, haven't we? So how do we unwire that? I know, there's this guilt thing. Okay, I didn't get enough done. I didn't do enough paperwork. Uh, that many people think that they don't ever do enough in a day. I mean, one of our clients said that, he's always thinking there's so much to do. I've got so much to do and I don't get enough done. And when I don't get done, then I don't feel good about myself. And then I'm short and I'm edgy with everybody else. Why is it that we're often born with the idea that we're not good enough? even with all this stuff we have and all the things that we do and the extracurricular activities that we do, and we drive ourselves into the ground with all of this stuff and this doing. I mean, not everybody, but I would say our culture is really prone to that. Yeah. Oh, and who?
Mm.
What's that say? I love that.
Yeah, Tabitha, thanks for the comment. Welcome.
Mm.
Yeah, every day, every minute, it is a decision, because my unconscious is there with me. Like the habits are there ingrained, and I can be on autopilot. It serves a reason, right? So that way, I don't have to learn stick shift or driving manually, right, or learn how to cook a certain meal, right? It's like it's logged, it's programmed, cool. But sometimes, it doesn't serve me in terms of bad habits, right? Well, I'll say unhealthy habits, that affect my physical health and my mental and emotional health, right? And so you asked that question. So how do we stop that? Well, it starts with awareness, like having a conversation like this. It starts with having reminders throughout the day to pause and reflect. Oh, to check in with myself. Am I running on autopilot here? And to check in, wait, do I need to course correct or am I on the right path? And so we all know this. It all makes sense. Everybody's like, yeah, 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 yeah. I've heard this on the podcast or I read this from a book. Though it's so easy for me, I'll speak for myself, to fall back. And so I got to be in an environment that supports me to remind myself to slow down, to create structures and systems, right? To free up my time, that I'm not doing anything all the time, right? How can I duplicate myself, right? How can I like use AI to, lessen my workload, right? So of course, everything in balance, right? I can use AI as a way to outsource my thinking completely, and I'm no longer myself.
Well,
True
and
copy and paste
this is
over.
where I kind of go, because AI, we've got car openers now, car starters. Eventually, because most people now, like young kids, they don't know where food comes from. They think it comes from the shelf. They don't know how to garden. They don't know how to do anything. Eventually, we push a button to start a car, or even more. Hey Siri, start my car. Hey Siri, turn on the light. Hey Siri, what if Surrey stops? People aren't going to know how to turn on lights, start their car, make food. Like, we'd be so dependent on these things that we have no idea how to take care of ourselves in any way, shape, or form. We talk to Surrey, she gives it to us. What do we need to do? We won't even know the most basic thing about, like putting on our own shoes. There'll be a little shoe insert, and it's like, put on shoe, shoe. Kind of reminds me of that
Well, I
movie
mean,
with
Wally.
Wally, right? I mean, is that where we're headed?
Well, it's the extreme, right? I mean, it can head there, though that requires consciousness, that requires a check-in and awareness. Certain things might make sense to outsource. Like, I don't mind outsourcing to a robot to clean the house. That's like a lot of time to spend cleaning the house. I don't want it to be doing that.
Yeah, but
I
spiritually,
better
okay,
my
here's
time
this. I'm gonna
better
call you on
reserved.
this. What about spiritually? You talk to the men. Do you chop wood? Do you carry water? Your everyday tasks, the meditative. Like if you just keep wanting to do certain things,
Mhm.
like
Well, some people like tend to their, gardening, and it's very therapeutic. It's very good for the mind. And so I just got to know what the benefit is. I like washing dishes. We don't have a dishwasher. I don't mind washing dishes because it's therapeutic for me. But to clean the house like all over the place, like it's a lot of work. And there's my stickler that comes in of like picking everything on the floor or sweeping everything. And that's why people have those Roombas to sweep up, right? And so I think it's not extreme or to the other. The black and white thinking is what gets us in trouble, right? It's context based and it's situationally based. Where based people we're at. So that requires a conscious decision to check in. And this goes back to capacity. Everybody has a different capacity and everybody has a different way of recharging that capacity. It's more about the sovereignty of each individual to have the tools, the inner technology to check in with themselves and get
yeah,
resourced. Right. And when you talked about, hey, if I really deeply connect with my family, that's really what all I need. Like, I was listening to his one podcast, like, and I really resonate with him. Like, growing up, I wanted approval from people. I wore designer brands, and something about people saying, "Wow, that's a nice shirt. That's a nice sunglasses." It gave me this sense of worth. And you know what? I judge it's quite sad that I want this based on the clothes and the car that I drove. That I based my sense of worth based on that, right? And where am I going with this? Is that after a while, I actually, care less of what people think of me in terms of, we talked about this last night, their judgments of me, what car I
Mm.
drive, what do I wear, how my hair is, what my mustache is, my beard is laid out, right? Or what I was Mr. Professional. I made sure that I was shaved clean all day, every day. My hair was on point, got a haircut every week and a half, 2 weeks, made sure my clothes were like pressed, everything, drove a beamer, like professional, spoke well, and now I'm just like growing my hair, growing my mustache. Even my mom's like, "Man, you look like a hobo." But now she's really accepted it. She did. She's like, she's gotten used to it. I'm like, hey, because I'm owning it, right? So where I'm coming from this, I care less about what people judge me about. But you said, well, I do care about my effect on them. You know what I'm saying? Like, if my actions were to make them sad, again, I'm not responsible for how they feel, though I am responsible for what I put in the field, for what I bring, how I say, how I treat them. Am I treating them with kindness or am I being a dick about it? Right. So that's where I'm coming from. And then eventually, where I heard from this podcast was eventually I just need a small group of people. That's it. Like, the people I really care about are the people I love, you know? And if I have deeper, real conversations with the close people in my life, that's all I really need. This is for me. And it makes life very simple because what I'm seeing with this economy is this one person economy where every person has a car. I look, I guilty of this too. I drive and I'm like the only one in the car. And that's why they have carpool lanes, right? You look around, most of the people driving cars are one individual person. Okay. Everybody has a phone. Okay. Hey, maximum economy, right? Maximum profits when you have each individual person paying for something. But then when the family group structure is so connected, it's like I've duplicated myself. It's like what I admire about people coming to this country, some, they buy a house together, they live together, they save a lot of money, and they buy another house. They buy another house. So they've kind of pooled their resources together consciously, right? And of course, it requires communication as well, right? On that to make that work. But it's like a mini city. It's like a mini tribe. It's like a mini community. If only two people got together and teamed up, it creates so much more. And imagine three, so much more, right? This it's abundant. Like, the apple tree produces more apples than you can eat for yourself. That's what happens when Summer takes care of the tomatoes. I take care of the carrots, right? Todd takes care of the potatoes. We bring it together. We have more than
Well,
enough.
I mean, that's a great
Nature.
theory. Just like Michael Tellinger wrote the book Ubuntu with community. Community sounds great until you meet with everyone's saboteurs, their triggers, their traumas, and then it's excuse my French, a shit show, right? So that's where the
Mm.
foundation of everything is communication, is recognizing what your capacity is. It's first, what's my capacity? What's the communication for myself? What is it that I need? And I think we've been so stripped from our own acknowledgement of what's going on in my body when I don't feel well. We're told to, take a pill to feel better. Like, we just are encouraged just to keep going all the time. I mean, still, there's not really a lot of companies with mental health days. It's all about
Mm.
economies of scale and go, 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 do, do, do. And we're not
Yeah.
machines.
Product-
And so for me, it's all about that avatar thing. How do we stay connected? How do we get consciously reconnected? And for me, it's about courage. It's about being prepared to be uncomfortable in a different way. It's about being vulnerable to really learn how I really do operate through the mirror of other people, through slowing down. And I saw a video for our friend Chelsea. She was pouring tea in her wonderful tea ceremonies today. Slow thinking ties together bigger concepts. When we're so fast with things, all we're doing is looking at what's right in front of us. Quick, let's quickly get in the car. Let's go to the shop. Let's get shopping done. We don't get to see the bigger picture of, oh, maybe where I'm getting my food from isn't the right place to get it from. Maybe I should get it from the farmer who owns the bison and have the time to resource these things in a different way, rather than doing the easy, comfortable things, either financially, physically, or emotionally.
Mm.
And it goes back to this addiction to instant gratification.
Mm.
See how I tied that together?
Yeah.
By
And
accident?
yeah, I love it. And also, like, if my capacity is low, then I'm more easily susceptible to instant gratification. Because when my capacity is low, my saboteurs are driving the bus, not my higher self. Right. For me to be conscious, I'm more unconscious when I'm low on energy. I'm sleepy and tired. Right. Haven't taken care of myself. So it's all connected, isn't it?
Yeah, I see there's quite a few comments. What are people saying? What
Yeah.
we got here?
Yeah. I'm not sure what Frank said there. I think he's having a chat with Anita in the
Hmm.
comments there. But
Oh,
Tabitha here, I'll
community.
bring it up. Yeah, phone put on do not disturb. Yeah, that's a great feature. I don't particularly use that feature. Frequency and communication. Raise our awareness and be consciously open to learn and grow. Yeah. It's check-in points, right? Check in. And even then, like what supports me is even sharing. I don't have capacity right now to have this conversation or to answer this question. Right. Because I know that if I answer it, I might dig myself a grave, right? It might start something. I'm not resourced. So it's okay. It's okay for me to admit that, yeah, I'm not in the right place right now. I don't have capacity for this right now. And I can better serve that by saying, how about we check in with this tomorrow or on this day? So it's not like, oh, let me get back to you and never get back to you, right?
Yeah, that clear and specific communication about the time
Experiences.
to reconnect, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, my ex-husband, he'll readily admit, even after we got divorced, he's like, "Yeah, I used to say I'd get back to you, and I know I never did."
Great way to avoid.
Avoidance is real.